Hello students, this is College English 2 Advanced class, and this is going to be the second class video. And I just want to remind you that as we're doing the book, we're doing the Smart Choice 3 book, right? Third edition. And if you guys can remember from the first unit, we were practicing, what have you been doing recently? So I always want you guys to think in terms of conversation and speaking, and this is also going to be the test as well. We're going to have a speaking test, right? So think, what have you been doing recently? You can say, I've been studying English recently, right? And some of the vocabulary that we practiced as well, think in terms of speaking and conversation. Right? So we discussed volunteer work, right, in the vocabulary in Unit 1. So if I ask you, have you been doing volunteer work? You can say, yes, I've been volunteering at the hospital. Or you could say, yes, I did volunteer work at the kindergarten. Okay, another of the vocabulary was about taking selfies. Okay, so if I ask you, do you like taking selfies? You can say, yes, I do. I like to post my photos on Instagram. Okay, so just always think in terms of conversation when we're going through the book, when we're practicing the vocabulary and the language practice. And so keep that in mind because the test will also be oral tests, just speaking tests. Okay, so today we'll go ahead and continue on to Unit 2 in your student book. Okay, I wonder what it's about. Okay, so we'll go through the vocabulary first. Today we're going to be looking at some different kinds of TV shows for the vocabulary. Okay, so let's go ahead and open your books to page 10. And just follow along with me in your books. And first look at the picture and tell me what kind of show is it. Okay, so for number 1, you guys can see that's a news program, right? Watching the news programs. Okay, and then for number 2, okay, that looks like a talk show when famous people are interviewed. We call it, right, the talk show. So, yeah, sorry, that was number 4. That was talk show. Okay, so for number 2, that's a sports program, watching soccer or basketball, right? We just call that sports programs. Okay, and number 3, the number 3 photo. Okay, sorry, we're here on number 3. Okay, that would be a drama, right? Drama, which are very popular. Okay, drama TV shows. And then number 4 was a talk show. Okay, and 5, it is a music video. Okay, and number 6 is a cartoon, right, or animation or cartoon. Okay, and 7 is a documentary, right? When we learn something about nature or science or history, we call those documentaries. All right, and number 8 is a game show. All right. Okay, so for part 2, they want us to answer the questions, which of the shows has actors? And which of the shows are educational? Which of the shows teach you something? Which of the shows can you learn something from? Okay, educational. Okay, so from the words from the box, okay, which of the shows have actors? Okay, so it looks like probably a TV movie, right? A TV movie has actors. TV movie, right? Okay, TV movie. Okay, and also a sitcom, right? A sitcom has actors. It's a funny TV show with funny actors like Friends. It's a popular TV show in the US. It's called Friends, popular sitcom from before. And also the word from the box. Which of these have actors? So we could say the drama. The drama has actors. And okay, and then which of the shows are educational, right? Which of the shows can teach us something? Okay, so maybe we can learn from a travel show. We can learn from a cooking show, and perhaps from infomercials. We can learn some information. And then from the photo, we can learn from the news programs. Those are educational. Okay, and we can learn from documentaries, and maybe we can learn from talk shows sometimes. Okay, those can all be possibly educational. Okay, and for part 3, I want you guys to think about shows that you watch. What kind of shows do you watch? Okay, so if we look at the example from the book, they say, oh, Take My House is an example of a reality show. I don't watch it. Do you? Yes, I do. It's a really fun show. Okay, so what about you guys? What shows do you watch? For example, I like to watch Big Bang Theory. Okay. Is it called? Yeah, Big Bang. It's not the music group, but the TV show. It's a sitcom. It's a funny American sitcom. Okay. So what about you? What kinds of shows do you like to watch? And what are the names of the shows? Okay. So think about in terms of conversation, right? These are questions that I might ask you to use during the speaking test. Okay. So you could say, oh, I like to watch dramas. The drama True Detective is very interesting. Okay. Or I like to watch documentary TV shows because I like to learn something, right? I like educational programs. Okay. So think in terms of conversations, right? Okay, so you can say, oh, Running Man is an example of a reality show. Okay, I watch it every week. Do you? Sometimes I watch Running Man if I have a chance. Okay, so think in terms of speaking and having a conversation together. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue to the conversation page. Okay, take a look here. Conversation. Okay, so first I will say the conversation, and then you guys just follow along and write the answers from the box when I say it. Okay, I will read first. Okay, so Claire starts the conversation. So, do you know what you want to watch tonight? I don't know. Let's check the TV listings. Oh, here's something called Take My House. I wonder what kind of show that is. I think it's a reality show. Do you know what it's about? It's about people who switch homes. I've heard it's pretty interesting. Actually, I don't care for that kind of show. I wonder if there is a good game show on tonight. I don't think there is. Oh, do you know what we should watch? No, tell me. Nothing. We have a house full of books, and we never read them. Oh no, do we have to? Okay, so I want you guys to practice the conversation yourself, okay? So you guys read it yourself, say it aloud, and practice the pronunciation, okay? So practice it by yourself, and then after you finish, I want you to practice the conversation with the words from the bottom box, okay? So for number one, you would say, oh, here's something called The Bolts, right? The Bolts. Okay. And number 2, I think it's a sitcom. And do you know what it's about? It's about a robot family. It's about a robot family. Okay, so you'll practice the conversation one time, and then you'll do it a second time with these words, right? And then for the third one, for the third conversation, you guys will make it. Okay, so you decide what you want to write there, right? So you can say, oh, here's something called Running Man, right? What show do you guys watch? Do you watch Running Man or Survivor? Okay, so oh, here's something called Running Man. So you could write Running Man here. Okay, and it's about, number 2, I think it's a reality show, right? Running Man is a reality show. And it's about people who travel together. Okay, so you guys go ahead and make the conversation for the last part. Okay. Okay, so if I ask you, so what do you want to watch tonight? Okay, oh, I don't know, let me check the TV listings. Oh, here's something called, okay, so write a TV show that you watch. Okay, and then for number 2, I wonder what kind of show that is. I think it's, tell me if it's a game show, a talk show, or a reality show. And then for number 3, okay, so if it's Running Man, right, you would say, oh, it's about people who travel and they have to do some tasks, some fun or interesting tasks. Okay, so take a few minutes to do that, okay? And if you guys remember, if you need some more time, you just pause the video, or you can go back in the video. So just go at your own pace, take your time, do it slowly. And of course, remember, if you have any questions, please, you guys can email me. You guys all have my email. I'll give it to you again. It's just my last name, Bermudez, okay, at dju.kr. Okay, so just go at your own speed while you're watching the class videos. Okay, all right, so we'll go to the next page when you're ready. Okay, and we'll take a look at the language practice page. Okay, language practice. Okay, so these are what's known as indirect questions, right? So a direct question, I would just say, oh, what's it about? But if I make an indirect question, I could say, oh, do you know what it's about? Okay, so an indirect question is more polite. It's more formal and polite way of asking a question. Okay, so let's take a look at the box, and we'll look at the examples. Okay, so the first one is, what's it about? Okay, and indirect, oh, do you know what it's about? Okay, direct, why is this show popular? Indirect, can you explain why this show is popular? Who was he? Can you tell me who he was? What do you want to watch? Do you know what you want to watch? Is there a game on tonight? Do you know if there is a game on tonight? What should we watch? I wonder what we should watch. Okay, so those are all ways to make it indirect, to make the question more polite and formal. Okay, so how about we try some practice with this for part 1? Okay, let's rewrite the direct questions as indirect questions. Okay, so number 1 is, oh, what does he like to watch on TV? Do you know what he likes to watch on TV? Okay, so if you guys want, take a few minutes to try to do number 2, 3, 4, and 5 yourself. Okay, you guys try to do it first. If you guys want, go ahead and pause the video here and do it yourself. Okay, and when you finish, let's go ahead and check your answers. Okay, so number 2, where is this internet celebrity from? I wonder where this internet celebrity is from. Okay, I wonder where this internet celebrity is from. How many channels are there? Can you tell me how many channels there are? Can you tell me how many channels there are? Okay, and where is the remote control? Do you know where the remote control is? What's this show about? Can you please explain what this show is about? Okay. So, just of course think in terms of just speaking and conversation, right? Okay. So for part 2, rewrite the conversation. Replace the direct questions with indirect questions. Okay. So A, is there anything good on TV tonight? Okay, so let's go ahead and make that an indirect question. Do you know if there's anything good on TV tonight? Do you know if there's anything good on TV tonight? Okay, there is a show called Saved by a Star. What kind of show is it? Okay, so let's change that one to an indirect question. Can you tell me what kind of show it is? Okay, can you tell me what kind of show it is? And it's a reality show. What's it about? Okay, let's change that to an indirect question. Do you know what it's about? Do you know what it's about? It's about celebrities who do volunteer work. Okay, so part 3 is important, right? Because this gives us a chance now to practice the conversation ourselves. Okay, so for part 3, give your own responses to the questions in activity 2. Okay, so practice it yourself. Okay, so I can ask you, do you know if there's anything good on TV tonight? Okay. So you guys can answer. Do you know if there's anything good on TV tonight? You can say, oh yes, there's a show called Survivor. Okay. What kind of, or we'll make it indirect. Can you tell me what kind of show it is? Okay, it's a reality show. Do you know what it's about? It's about people who have to survive in a natural environment by themselves. Okay, so you guys go ahead and answer those 3 questions for part 2, okay, about a TV show that you watch. Okay, and go ahead and answer it verbally by speaking. All right. Okay. And okay, we'll take a break there, and we'll continue to the second part of Unit 2 in just a moment. And we'll also check your homework in the workbook. Okay, just a moment.